Vera, the time has come to meet this man who slandered and destroyed my name. Let God be our judge, even after our death. I know how painful it has been for me to have such a blemish on my name.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Всеволод Sergeyevich Solovyov. The philosopher Vladimir Solovyov was my younger brother. He never met Madame Blavatsky, never had any contact with her, so he always resented it when people denounced and reproached him for his assaults on her. It was I, not him. My association with Madame Blavatsky dates back to 1884 in Paris, when I responded to an announcement in a newspaper which read, "For those interested in theosophy, Madame Blavatsky has returned to Europe," and it gave her address. By then, I had heard a lot about the wonders and miracles she performed. I wanted to become acquainted with my outstanding countrywoman. So, I went to her house to meet her. The door was opened by a Hindu man. In the room I found a heavy-set woman, sitting at a desk writing something and smoking a cigarette. She looked up at me, and I saw her beautiful turquoise eyes. Her manner of speaking was distinctly Russian, with the charm and humor common among the people of the Russian provinces. I asked her how long she was planning to stay in Paris, and her reply was, "My master will tell me." And I heard the sounds of silver bells. From that very first meeting, I felt her influence on me. I was charmed by her. I can only explain my subsequent contacts with her on the basis of hypnosis and the extraordinary psychic pressure that I was subjected to. Today, I am totally against all that theosophical heresy, and I warn everyone who feels inclined to study anything about theosophy or its founder to be extremely careful. Everything about it is a lie, a deception, a fraud.
Mr. Solovyov had contact with my sister during a few weeks in Paris, a couple of weeks in Nuremberg, and a few days in Aberfield. There was no Theosophical Society in existence in Europe at the time, and no translations of theosophical literature into Russian. So Mr. Solovyov could not possibly have read anything about her philosophy because he did not speak English, as he admitted to us himself. Then, how could this man judge a woman about whom he knew so little, and even less about her cause and what she stood for?
I had reason for telling you that I spoke no English. I wanted to be able to listen and spy on everything that took place in her house. I had to play the friend of Madame Blavatsky in order to gather the necessary facts for my future denunciations. I had some suspicions about her even at that time. For example, I suspected the story about Madame Blavatsky's teacher, a certain Mahatma Moria. Once, after I returned to my home from one of my visits to Helena Petrovna, I felt very tired and had to lay in bed to rest for a while. Suddenly I opened my eyes and saw a man sitting in front of me. He looked like an Indian and had beautiful but sad black eyes which looked straight at me. I had the impression that this man was absolutely real, not a spirit or a ghost. The visit lasted for some time, and we engaged in a lengthy conversation, at the end of which Mahatma told me, "Tomorrow Madame Blavatsky will prove to you my reality." Then he disappeared.
The letter he left you saying, "I was here, but who can open the eyes of those who do not want to see?"
That was no proof. You simply hypnotized me. She filled me with false ideas. Maybe I was overly enthusiastic and mistaken. I was too young at the time. But anyway, I can prove that everything she did were deceptions and simple hypnotic practices.
How can you prove it? What about the experiment with the psychic reading my sister did of that letter? You described it in an article in Rebus magazine. You wrote yourself that everything concerning such phenomena was absolutely real, that there were no lies in it. You wrote, I checked everything myself. Tricks and lies would have been impossible. Quite frankly, I am very surprised with Solovyov's wish to forget everything about Madame Blavatsky, as he said. Why didn't he? In fact, why didn't he do so? Who prevented him from doing so? Why did he go on to publish his book in which he called my sister the greatest liar and trickster of our century? And why did he publish his book after my sister's death, when he was sure that she could do nothing to protect her name? How can a man who was allegedly hypnotized presume to be a good judge of anything? Perhaps now he is being hypnotized by somebody else. If he is indeed such a sensitive person and so easily influenced by everyone around him, how can we distinguish in his writings when he is telling the truth or when he is being fooled under hypnosis?
Vera Petrovna, my dear, why are you so anxious? Your sister is not such a simple person that she can't protect herself without your help. By the way, I would like to add that I solved the mystery of the silver bell. Once, when I was getting ready to leave Helena Petrovna's house and was putting on my coat in her lobby, Madame Blavatsky, who was standing near me, clumsily dropped something on the floor. I picked it up and, smiling, handed it back to her. It was a pretty silver object of oriental craftsmanship. All the guests present noticed that she was quite embarrassed by the incident.
What a strange man, totally obsessed with this petty matter of the silver bell. How many times had he asked me to teach him how to perform miracles and wonders, how I produced music out of thin air. Simple. I wave my hand and there is music. It is impossible to teach those kinds of things. How could I teach him? Had he been able to learn from all my experiences in India, perhaps he would have been able to do such things.
Stop, student. One more word. When you find in your heart divine compassion, you discover the law of the universe, the essence of internal harmony, the soul of the world, the light of truth and eternal love. When you walk the path of nature, your soul is transformed into perfect compassion. Those who accept Theosophy are inspired by a constant search for divine wisdom and God's kingdom within.